A violent dispute over a chicken dinner.
Are you serious, man? You're throwing chicken onto the ground? And I'm like, who cares? Leave me alone.
It's a Spotlight update on this shooting as felony charges stack up against the woman whose feathers were ruffled.
People were running kind of in and out of the street, just a bunch of chaos.
An illegal street takeover turns into a moment of horror.
Oh my God.
Cell phone video captures the car that ran down a woman to escape police.
Shots fired.
A dangerous chase ends with a dunk in Lake Washington.
He just jumped in the water.
Body cam and chopper video details this wild call for Seattle police. Tonight in the Spotlight. An argument over chicken bones tossed on the ground outside a grocery store in Seattle quickly escalated to a shooting. Cell phone video from March showed the victim getting shot while trying and failing to make a citizen's arrest. Good evening, I'm David Rose, and thank you for joining us for the Spotlight. Tonight, that shooting suspect, now identified as Sherelle Dale, is in jail, charged with multiple felony crimes.
No, you under arrest.
Seattle police say this cell phone video was the key to identifying the suspect accused of shooting Jesse Grant.
I was in the military. I never got shot, but I get shot in Safeway over some chicken.
Grant and his coworker were eating in a car parked outside Safeway and throwing the bones on the ground outside when police say 31-year-old Sherelle Dale and her girlfriend pulled up next to them.
She opens up the car and steps onto some chicken, and she's like, "What the? Why is there chicken on the ground?" And she looks over at me and it's like, "Are you serious, man? You're throwing chicken onto the ground?" And I'm like, who cares? Leave me alone.
Court documents say he actually told her to go yourself. That's when police say she got a pair of scissors from her car and started stabbing Grant's tire.
I jump out of the car and I tackle her to the ground and I put her into citizen's arrest.
He didn't even realize she had a gun, even though it was pointed at his head. A nearby security guard saw it, though, and called 911.
Tires, you stupid.
At my car.
Someone threw chicken at your sub. You stepped out on some chicken and got mad at me and started throwing some.
Let go.
Oh, gun.
Grant was shot in the leg and fell over on top of her.
I'm gonna shoot you again, bro. Get off of me.
They scrambled for the gun, and he was able to get it away from her, even as her girlfriend came to her aid.
What are you doing? She just shot him.
She just shot me.
She just shot him. Get off of him.
Why aren't you helping me? Why are you helping her? And that's when my coworker runs over and pulled that.
The two of them then ran back to their car and took off. Then, just shy of a month later, detectives say Dale and 28-year-old Deontay Hunter followed an 87-year-old man to his Madison Park home, put a gun to his neck, and robbed him of his wallet and a $45,000 Rolex. Meanwhile, Bellevue police were also investigating her for identity theft. Detectives say she was caught on surveillance video using stolen credit cards taken during a car prowl. They arrested her in Federal Way.
Gun.
Because Dale has had 30 prior warrants for her arrest, prosecutors requested a high bail, writing, "This incident is very violent and concerning. The defendant was so concerned with fleeing the scene before police arrived that she was willing to shoot someone in full view of witnesses."
If she's willing to shoot somebody over chicken, she's willing to shoot somebody over anything.
The Seattle police say Sherelle was identified by a detective who recognized her from the video from a previous case, and then by Grant, who picked her out of a photo lineup. King County prosecutors have charged her with robbery first degree with a firearm, assault in the second degree, identity theft, and unlawful possession of a firearm. She's being held on $350,000 bail. A hit-and-run crash was caught on camera in Auburn, and it highlights the danger of illegal street takeover events. On the 4th of July, cars were doing donuts in an intersection with spectators lighting off fireworks. A woman caught in the traffic backup had her camera rolling and captured the moment an 18-year-old girl was hit by a car and badly injured. We blurred the moment that happens, as some may find the video disturbing.
Back up there, telling you. Back up.
Hey.
Taylor Mitchell was stuck trying to get through the intersection of Lake Tapps Parkway and Lakeland Hills Way and describes the wild scene she saw just ahead.
People were running kind of in and out of the street, just a bunch of chaos. And we were actually being forced to back our car up. because there was so much going on. People were afraid their car was going to get hit from the donuts.
When police showed up, people scattered and cars peeled out.
Cops are coming.
Unfortunately, there was a young girl who was just the last one across the street. And at that point, we saw her get hit by the vehicle that had fled.
Holy did you see that?
Mitchell was horrified by what she witnessed.
Oh my God.
And the recklessness that put this young woman in the hospital in serious condition.
It's just, that's someone's daughter, that's someone's sister, that's someone's best friend. And it's just not worth it in the end. It's never worth it because so many lives were impacted by this.
Well, here's a freeze frame of the light-colored car that hit that woman. Police are trying to track down the driver. If you have any information on this street takeover, contact Auburn Police or submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers by calling 1-800-222-TIPS or use the P3 Tips app on your cell phone. Two teens accused of repeatedly stabbing a teenage girl in West Seattle are locked up after they were arrested in Marysville. King County prosecutors have charged 17-year-old Elena R. Herzog as an adult with assault in the first degree. Her 15-year-old co-defendant is facing a charge of attempted murder. The attack happened on July 5th at the victim's grandfather's house where she was taking care of him. The Spotlight's Frankie Thompson spoke with her sister about how the teen managed to survive.
That's our youngest sister.
Holding on to the good times, Jasmine Goodwin finds comfort looking at old family pictures with her little sister by her side.
It's really fun to reminisce on those fun memories, and as we work through the coming weeks, months, probably years, we hope that we can just build more of those memories with her.
Memories that will help Goodwin ease the pain as her sister, now 17 years old, is recovering from a vicious attack.
Half of her face is almost immobile because they stabbed her through the cheek and into her mouth.
Two teen suspects, the boy just 15 years old, are both accused of violently stabbing Goodwin's sister. Both suspects appeared in juvenile court, now facing serious consequences.
Finding of one count of attempted murder in the second degree, Your Honor.
The attack happened on this street in West Seattle's Delridge neighborhood. Goodwin's sister has been living in the area for only a couple of months, caring for her 83-year-old grandfather who is recovering from multiple surgeries. Goodwin says in that short time, her sister met the two teens at a career training program, befriended them, and invited them over to the house.
It sounds like that evening they returned, entered through the back door, locked the door behind them so my sister could not get out. Some confrontation occurred, and next thing my sister knows, she's being stabbed. She was stabbed several times in the face, through the cheek, on her chin, on her head, in her neck. All over her body.
Somehow Goodwin's sister managed to escape and lock the door from her attackers, but instantly collapsed as she was quickly losing blood. Goodwin says her elderly grandfather could only yell for help due to his limited mobility from surgery.
Heard her scream, just the most blood-curdling scream that he's ever heard, ever. If he didn't yell back and help scare them away, and if he hadn't been here to call 911 for her, the blood loss probably would have taken her life.
She's been in the hospital ever since first responders rushed in to save her, but her blood is still pooled on the walls and floors of her grandfather's house. It's why Goodwin started a fundraiser to help collect money to clean it and no longer haunt him.
He doesn't deserve to have to pay literally for what these criminals did to not only his home, but to his granddaughter.
The suspects now ordered to secure detention as their cases move forward in the judicial system. Now Goodwin worries how this terrifying encounter will shape her sister's picture of the future.
We don't know what her new normal is going to look like. Is her face going to start to work again on one side? Are the scars going to be visible? Are her emotional scars going to heal? Is she going to trust people again?
For the Spotlight, I'm Frankie Thompson.
Prosecutors say she was stabbed 16 times, including 6 times in the face. The online fundraiser has raised more than $10,000 so far. For a link to the GoFundMe, you can find this story at fox13seattle.com by going to the Spotlight section under the More tab. We're now seeing body cam video of a Seattle police officer under fire. It all started with a domestic violence call at Pritchard Island Beach in South Seattle. It was a foot chase right out of the gates when an officer responded to a report of a man beating a woman. The suspect, 33-year-old Robert Lopez, was quickly cornered against a fence at taser point, but then he shoved the officer and bolted. The officer chased Lopez down a trail, trying to hit him with the taser, and that's when police say Lopez turned, pointed a gun at the officer, and fired 3 shots.
Shots fired.
Prosecutors say he fired 3 more shots as the officer then waited for backup to arrive, and that backup included the King County Sheriff's Office Guardian 1 helicopter. We pick up the chase from the aerial view now as Lopez tried to escape by jumping into Lake Washington.
Guardian 1, I have eyes on him walking towards the dock.
Seattle police say this video from June 20th shows Robert Lopez as he heads toward the Pritchard Island beach area along Lake Washington.
Still running south.
He's on the docks.
As officers close in on him,
He just jumped in the water.
From Atlantic City boat ramp.
Jumped in the water at the Atlantic City boat ramp, had his hands up, jumped in the water.
at first, it looked like he was trying to get further away, but quickly realized his folly as officers gathered en masse on a nearby dock. Plus, it's shortly before 8 a.m. Temperatures are in the 50s. Police throw him a rescue rope.
You have potentially a hypothermia issue.
While they prepare to treat him if he comes ashore, police are also getting ready in case he goes the other way.
We get two of the officers that are walking into the scene from the north. We pull up to the dock and we get you guys on our boat, so we have an extra set of hands in case he swims out into the lake.
Instead, he slowly makes his way to the dock, finally reaching it more than 20 minutes later.
Guardian 1, they're pulling him out of the water now.
Copy, pulling suspect out of the water now.
Lopez was taken to the hospital to be evaluated and then booked into jail. He's being held on $750,000 bail.
251, scene secure, send in fire.
Copy, scene secure, sending in fire. Is one in custody?
Copy, one in custody, under control.
King County prosecutors have charged Lopez with assault first degree, assault second degree, and unlawful possession of a firearm. He's also charged with tampering with a witness, accused of getting his, quote, side piece to try to bribe the victim to drop the pending domestic violence charges. According to the court documents, Lopez was at Pritchard Island Park that morning trying to teach his girlfriend to drive a stolen motorcycle, and then he started beating her when she dropped the bike. A local mother is desperate for answers on her missing son, and she hopes a bigger reward will help. 36-year-old Austin Lemming disappeared under suspicious circumstances in 2021. He was last seen at an apartment complex in downtown Kent on December 8th of that year. His mother, Karen Lemming, recently doubled the reward for information in the case.
So we started off with $10,000 reward, and it wasn't really bringing in the tips that we needed. So we upped it to $21,000. So we're sort of hoping it would inspire somebody to come forward with that much needed tip so that we can find Austin.
Karen is now working to increase the reward even more. She started a GoFundMe page that's nearing its $7,000 goal. If you have any information on the disappearance of Austin Lemming, you can submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. So far this year, there have been 425 overdose deaths involving fentanyl in King County and 111 fentanyl-related deaths in Snohomish County. At this rate, the number of fatal overdoses in both counties will top last year's totals. For some, the fear of death is what finally gets them to seek treatment. And when they do, there is a boots-on-the-ground nonprofit in Everett fighting hard to survive to save their lives.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not gonna be an easy road, but it won't be the hardest thing you ever do in your life either.
Mike Kersey says they have a motto at Courage to Change Recovery Services: don't shoot the wounded. Meaning, whenever someone's ready to go to detox, day or night, he will be there to give them a ride. No judgment.
I don't care if they've called me 6 times and I've gotten in and out of detox 6, 7 times, and that has happened. So we try and help them no matter what, and love them where they're at.
He tells them his story, sober for 25 years, and listens to theirs.
Ever seen one of my friends either smoked out, dead, or in prison?
Mike says these are faces of some of his friends and clients killed by fentanyl in the last 18 months. By the time somebody reaches out to you for help, how many times have they already overdosed?
Well, we had one that was 6 or 7 times, and very seldom do I find someone who hasn't overdosed, and that kind of scares them maybe a little bit into wanting to get, some help.
So tell me about the state of things. Where are we at right now? Do you have hope that things are getting better, that you're making a difference?
I'm not seeing any change on the street, right? The drugs are getting worse. The fentanyl is mixed with xylazine. I mean, I had a guy UA the other day at Detox, and he popped dirty for everything you could imagine: cocaine, fentanyl, meth, the whole gambit because they don't know what they're getting in these drugs anymore.
We're chasing our tails because the drugs are new every day, you know, and even the clients are surprised with what they have in their system when they show up at the detox centers.
Christina Anderson is the co-founder of Courage to Change. She says clients need 2 weeks to detox from fentanyl just to start. But there's a problem.
The insurance companies that, for the state insurance that most of the clients have, aren't keeping them in detox long enough to actually completely detox from the fentanyl. I think they're still looking at it like a heroin or another opiate.
When their state insurance runs out, they're out, stable or not.
They haven't found that clarity yet, so they're still detoxing, and so there's, you know, physical consequences and mental consequences, and they're struggling.
Without a safe place to go, clients leaving detox were relapsing. So Courage to Change opened an interim clean and sober place to stay between detox and treatment. Named for Nick McGloshin, who lost his battle with addiction in 2020. It houses 16 men. They want to open a women's house, but just don't have the money. It cost the nonprofit $10,000 a month just to keep the doors open at Nick's place, plus several $1,000s a month for fuel. When Mike's not driving, he's fundraising.
You know, the sad reality is we need help, and however we can get that help, I don't care.
He and the other volunteer drivers who don't get paid have gone as far south as Oregon and north to the border to answer the call for help.
You know, they do it because we see people out on the street dying, and it's time to end it somehow.
One photo that stuck out to me is Jenna Williams, because she looks pretty healthy in that photo.
Yeah, Jenna was an amazing young lady. She was actually in one of our houses for a while, and but she battled. And the last time, that picture that I had with Jenna was taken when she was healthy. You know, we'd gotten her into housing in Everett, and she was doing amazing. And I was taken in the back alley because I was delivering some of her stuff that she'd left in the van, and. But yeah, they found her passed away in her vehicle about 6 months after that photo was taken.
But for every tragic loss, there's also hope.
We do have a 65% success rate from when they come into Nick's place and leave, they stay sober. The difference we see in these clients is night and day. They look like a completely different person from the photo that Mike takes in the van when they're driving to detox to where they come out of Nick's place 90 days later. And that's what keeps us going. You know, they're truly miracles.
I consider them family and friends because a lot of these guys that we get don't have any family. They don't have any friends left. You know, families don't want to have anything to do with them. And so our motto is kind of, you know, love them where they're at and, you know, love them until they can love themselves.
You can tell this is not a job for them. It is a mission. And if you'd like to donate or learn more, just go to their website. It's ctcrecovery.org, Courage to Change. We'll also put a link on our website. Just head to fox13seattle.com/links. A Ballard home was riddled with bullets, and the homeowner believes the shooting was politically motivated. The shooter seemed to target stickers displayed in the window. This is the second time the same house has been hit with gunfire. As the Spotlight's Jennifer Dowling reports, neighbors are concerned that someone could get injured or killed if it keeps happening.
I think it's a bit unnecessary to, you know, bring that kind of violence.
It was just after 3 in the morning when the bullets came through this window at a home in Ballard. The holes appeared to be clustered around stickers and pictures in the window showing President Trump, a Confederate flag, and another sticker that says "Police Lives Matter." A truck was also damaged, left with 2 broken windows. Meantime, Mason Rapisarda's grandma lives next door.
Being how close the houses are together definitely concerns me.
Mason says his grandma told him she was concerned that the violence could spill over to her home.
Very, very scary for her and the neighbors and everyone.
I spoke to the homeowner off camera as she told me she wanted to protect her privacy. She said this was the second time her house was shot at in just 2 years. She says the house was targeted on New Year's Eve heading into 2024. During that shooting, she says a bullet flew into a cabinet. This time, she says the shutters were closed, which helped to stop some of the impact. After the shooting, the woman told me she looked out her window and saw a man run across the street.
I don't know what could have motivated this, but, you know, it's scary for sure.
Mason says with his grandma just celebrating her 77th birthday, the incident next door put a damper on her big day.
She told me she couldn't sleep the whole night. That, I mean, obviously freaked her out quite a bit. If that's the case, there's no telling what else could have happened, what could have gone wrong.
For the Spotlight, I'm Jennifer Dowling.
The homeowner tells us she has no plans to take down the political stickers, but she does plan to install security cameras. A teen from Cedro-Woolley is being hailed a hero after rescuing an 11-year-old boy that almost drowned in Silver Lake near Everett. On July 8, 13-year-old Gage Bryant was at Thornton A. Sullivan Park with his cousins when he heard a woman say she thought she could see someone underwater. Then he heard from a worried mother.
His mom came over and was like, "Have you seen my son? He doesn't know how to swim." And when she said that, it clicked in my head that he was under the dock. I just sprung into action.
Well, Gage dove into the murky water several times, but visibility was too low. Another swimmer lent him some goggles, and then Gage spotted the boy at the bottom of the lake.
I swooped him up. I had his arms like T-shaped, and I wrapped my arm around his ribs and his back so he wouldn't fall out.
Gage and the other parkgoers started CPR until medics arrived. The boy was taken to the hospital where his condition was listed as stable.
I'm super happy that he's doing well. I didn't sleep well, but because I was just worrying about him.
The Everett Fire Department says Gage's actions and bravery played a vital role in saving the boy's life. That does it for us tonight on The Spotlight. Until next time, I'm David Rose. Please stay safe.